So then, Ostankino TV School and New York Film Academy have been partners for several years. Our students go to your academy, they take some internships. So how can you evaluate the result of our collaboration?
Okay, thank you. Good question. Well, the result is whether the students feel like they've learned something each time and advanced their education. The program that you mentioned, we haven't run in a while, but we're going to be doing it again. And I think it's successful as long as the students leave with additional knowledge that they didn't come with. That's how I would evaluate.
So high, high results. Okay. For example, I am a young, talented journalist or actress or director, and I have just finished our school, and I want to work in America. How should I start? What should I start from? And how can I succeed in another country?
Well, I can speak about America in terms of if there is a student from another country and wants to work there, there is a legal path they must go through even to be eligible to work. And you know, many students who go to the New York Film Academy will stay on and get their optional practical training year. It's basically a additional 1 year OPT, we call it, where they can work. And then from that, the students try to create a reels, newspaper articles, things to show that they are talented, and then they can apply for an O1 visa. And if they get that, they can stay and work in their field. Now that's just the ability to work. That doesn't mean they're going to have work. So, I always say that you're going to go to a new country to work in film or acting. It is useful to have a community of people you work with, and that's also why it's sometimes good to go to a film school in the location where you want to continue to work, because you graduate with collaborators, people who you can work with, and maybe 1 out of 10 or 20 will have a project, but if they're all working together, they'll bring each other on.
So you can jump into some...
And most people who aren't directing films at a school are working on films that their friends are directing, if they're working.
I see. And how did your Hollywood story start?
The true Hollywood story?
Yeah.
Of Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to, I lived in Russia for about 5 years and after college, and I went to NYU Film School, and out of film school, I got my master's, and out of film school I started working at the New York Film Academy, teaching cinematography. I then went on to direct a feature film, and I'd been doing commercials and music videos and such. But when I went to Hollywood, it wasn't as a director, it was as an educator. So I came into Hollywood to run the New York Film Academy in 2003, 15 years ago. And that has been my journey in Hollywood, not as a filmmaker. I made my film in Florida, I made film here, a film in New York, many films in New York, but my Hollywood path was education.
So it's like different from all the other people's, a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, everyone does something related to film, but...
We know a lot of talented people who became their way in Hollywood without any special education. For example, Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, Jennifer Lawrence. How is education in mediasphere important now? Can you succeed without any education?
Yeah, many people can succeed without education, but the majority will succeed and have better chance with education. Because if you think about it, those three you just mentioned, who I do imagine still have acting coaches, right? So they still work with an acting coach, which is education all the time. Those three, even though they have obviously a talent, they still have to train, even if it's not getting a degree or getting, working for a year. They need to train with someone so that they can hone their craft, because it's not just enough to be talented if they can't maintain consistency and continuity in who they are when they're on set. So I believe it's important. I mean, maybe at an extreme to this would be like, yes, break my leg, I could probably fix it, but it's likely I'll mess it up if I don't learn what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I don't think trial and error is not a good thing when you are making a movie and you're directing a movie and you're spending thousands, if not millions of dollars. You owe it to the community that it's a business, and you owe it to the community to know everything you can know before you get on that set. And that's where education comes in.
To be prepared, for
Right.
broken
You don't want to
legs.
you want to make your mistakes in school, not on a $100 million movie.
Yeah, that's painful. And the last question. Careers in creative field often can be unsteady, and you need to be prepared for like having no work for a lot of time, and you need to, again, to have tremendous strength to be able to like keep up all the time. What is your inspiration in hard times, and how do you keep this fighting spirit?
Well, again, I'm not currently like a freelance director. I'm an educator, so my job is steady every day. And a lot of people do go into education because they do their field, and it is very difficult. And it is true that even those who win Academy Awards sometimes don't necessarily make a movie right after. Sometimes it's still hard for them to get their project financed and made, and it takes years. So in that sense, those people are patient. They enjoy the process as much as they enjoy, I'm sure, the result. But if you're living for those results, those days where your film comes out or you get the Academy Award, then you're not going to be in the business for the right reason, because you're going to be happy for about 10 seconds of your life when they hand you the award, and then you're going to feel empty and going, okay, now what do I do? So you want to enjoy every moment up to that too.
Like enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy the path. Okay,